Hey everybody, Thunder in the spirit of Crazy Horse and Geronimo. Well, I don't see things as I was kind of checking out the world affairs, although I've had my hands full out here on the property in Sandy Valley, trying to straighten things out still and getting things on an even keel. A lot of work out here. But, it seems to be agreeing with me on some level, so sure I am enjoying the mountains and the snow on the mountains and the weather and the wildlife and stuff you don't see in the city. I was checking out world affairs. Basically, everything is pretty much the same as it was when I was doing videos regularly a month, 2 months ago, only it's getting worse. Financial system is definitely in a tailspin, basically. And we knew that was coming, and it's just getting worse. And the refugee thing is getting worse. And remember, this was all propagated by the powers to be, as in my tribal unity video. All propagated by those who want to see divide and conquer and destruction of the masses, brother against brother. I don't see 2016 as being a productive year, let's put it that way. It's going to be very, very... I see this year as being very, very dicey. I'm glad I'm out here, at least for now, but it seems like, if you're not storing up food, if you're not getting into a place where you're not surrounded by massive amounts of people, if you don't have your firearms locked and loaded, maybe even a bit of gold and silver, stacks of 20s if you have them, lots of friends around that can band together. I see this whole thing in a tailspin, just like when you're flying in an airplane, and you all know I'm a pilot. First you stall out. If you get to, if one of the most dangerous things right before a tailspin is stalling out. And the world is in a giant stall right now. And pretty soon it's going to go into a free fall, because when you stall an airplane out, it is unable to fly because the air is not flowing over the wings, because you're at a radical angle of attack. And the next thing you know, you wing over and go into what they call a death spiral or a tailspin, and you can't get out of those easily once they get into a tight corkscrew type situation. At first, you can get out of, but my point is, I'm likening this whole situation with the world and the financial system and the continuing saga of country against country and superpower against superpower and jockeying for positions. I see it all deteriorating rather rapidly. I think 2016 is going to be a banner year for sure for eyebrow raising and possibly catastrophe. I had a vision here in the desert. I posted some pictures on the Campfire Council of the sky right after my vision. I have these visions when I get out in nature, and this particular day the clouds moved in, and I was doing my ritual and offerings to the spirits of the four directions and grandmother and grandfather, kind of a sunrise ceremony type thing, and the clouds moved in. The Wakanyan, the thunder beings, moved in with the clouds, and the clouds formed into what I'd call a yin-yang sign right before my very eyes. And that would be the sign where there's dark on one side and light on the other, the Chinese symbol for balance, with a dot, the sun, coming through on the yin side. And I felt ancestral beings, and I felt star brothers and sisters all around me. And this, not perfect, but pretty close to it, yin-yang sign in the sky, the yin overtook the yang. In other words, the darkness overtook the light. And I see that as situations that are about to come about, not only in the world as a whole, but I also take things personally. So it could have had a lot to do with what I'm dealing with here. Having to overcome the darkness that seemed to be enveloping around a situation. But I also had that feeling that the Wakanyan were with me, and that things will work out the way they're supposed to, both with me and on a planetary level. Whatever happens is bound to be in accordance with the natural order of things being restored. And sometimes that restoration doesn't come easy. It comes with pain. Sometimes you have to go through the pain to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that light will always be there if you're in accordance with that light. It'll always be there for you. So we all have to remember that, no matter what situation we're in. And it doesn't matter whether you're in the country or the city or the boondocks or wherever. The energy on the planet's still basically the same. It's all in preparing on a mental and spiritual level. Or should I say, it's all in that spiritual warriorship. Which we all have to practice daily and try to apply in our lives, no matter how much negativity or how much situations that are out of balance seem to surround us. We have to maintain that balance at all costs. If we have to take a break, if we have to meditate, if we have to get away, if we have to get into some kind of seclusion. But it's a healing process. Anytime you have a shitload of negativity, the best way to handle it is like riding turbulence in an aircraft. You can't fight it. Kind of got to go with the flow. Let it push you around, because when you try to overcorrect, that's when you get in trouble. And it's real hard sometimes keeping that balance or that calm state of mind, Mu Shin, when you're in the midst of chaotic conditions. Okay? So we should all be congratulated if any of us are keeping some kind of semblance of balance amidst whatever we face, whether it be in the world or in our personal life. And you always have to remember what the priorities are: selflessness, giving of oneself, and love and balance, and a continual healing of one another if that's possible. Or if that's not possible, if you see somebody that's hurting mentally, emotionally, then, and you can't, maybe they won't listen. Just like the world, it's just the macrocosm and the microcosm. People get caught up in tape loops and they won't listen. All you can do is send healing energy. All you can do is stay focused and be sure of your own inner strength and not give your power to outside things, outside negativity. And remember that the world revolves around greed and power and possession and materialism and materialism. Who's that great master that said, don't store up your treasures where rust and moth can consume? Yeshua. And so that means don't store up or put any faith in any kind of physical backup, except, you have to be right on that spiritual level, and that's what will get you through anything. So, just some thoughts that I wanted to put out there for today. I haven't been doing a lot of long videos. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on things. You have to kind of listen to that wind, Cola. You have to listen to the wind and go by that, and go by guidance from that spirit that moves in all things. And hope for the best, Whatever we're going through is a lesson that we needed to learn. Whether it's on a personal level or whether it's on a global level, either we need to learn it personally, or mankind as a whole needs to learn a lesson. And sometimes we might have to learn that lesson quickly. So anyway, just wanted to say hello to everybody and keep the faith. And Thunder's working on some stuff here that I hope will benefit some people, other than myself. Realize right now I'm kind of in a sacred position in the scope of being out of the city, and I wish that for everybody and the members of the council. And so just know that I always have that thought in mind, and it's not just about Thunder, it's about caring about mankind, and the members of the Campfire Council really are close to my heart. So just want to get this video out, and I'll leave it there today. Adios.